Hello and welcome to the Slingshot Channel. One more Viking episode, as you can see. And this time it is about helmets. And of course the Vikings never wore helmets like this. I think the horns are just a myth. But of course we have a veritable Viking helmet as well. But before we start looking at helmets, let's first talk about the game. Because these guys made this episode possible by financing it. And also by financing my channel. In any case, Vikings is really a great game for cell phones. You can get it for iOS and also for Android. They have recently released updates that I really love. Now you have in-game battles with up to 1 million players. That's certainly a lot of fun. And again, I love the 3D graphics. I love that it's like a mixture of a strategy game but also with great graphics. I also think that it's really cool that you can decide how you want to proceed. I mean, if you want to build an impregnable fortress, then you can do that. But if you just want to go out and kill others, so sorry, then you can do that as well. I encourage you to download it from the link down below. Because if you do, then you will get 200 gold and you will get a shield. And this will give you a great start into the game. Also, of course, you're helping this channel. Because that is what makes us work. Without the money from our sponsors, we could no longer be in business. So this is a Viking helmet that is really worth its money, I believe. It is made from solid steel. It is very heavy, and that's one of its biggest disadvantages. Just because it could easily throw you off balance. You have this very heavy helmet on, and you actually need to buckle up, because otherwise it's simply going to fall from your head. But of course it is made from really thick steel. I mean, I think that this is like 2mm steel, and it will be very hard for anything to penetrate it. But on the other hand, once something has penetrated it, then it will definitely go through. And also, one of the disadvantages is that the upholstery here, this is really only leather. So this means that if something really heavy and hard hits it, then you would probably get a big shock in your head. So probably a concussion or something. So it has advantages and disadvantages. Now let us look at a modern helmet. So this is more like it. That's a very expensive and really cool motorcycle helmet that actually, get this off, it's actually brand new, thanks to my sponsor. That is possible. So it is definitely not damaged, not yet, but it will be damaged when we are done with it, believe me. It is really, really cool. It's made from polycarbonate, of course, just like a riot shield. And it will definitely give you a lot better protection against blunt impact, because that is what it's made for. But I'm not so sure if a Viking would have preferred this one, even though it is far lighter, and of course it gives you a lot better protection from anything from the front. It's like, for example, an arrow, because you have a visor, an arrow hitting you in the eye and so on. So I'm not sure. Do you think a Viking would have preferred a helmet like this? Or would he have gone back to his steel helmet? We need to find out. So we're going to test Viking era weapons against both helmets. So is this a proper Viking helmet? It looks ridiculous. Let's see if it works. So this is our artificial head, because of course we need something that we can put a helmet on. So I tried myself at a little bit of chainsaw carving and came up with a little body here. So as you see, the Viking helmet is firmly on it. And now we're going to try our first weapon. And this is my trusted zombie hammer with skull ejector. It is rusted and it is dirty and it is still very functional. And we're going to try the blunt side first. Okay, we'll try. Whoa. A big dent. Well, this certainly caused a real huge dent. And let's see if the piece of wood underneath survived. Yeah, actually, there is a dent too, and the dent is actually also clearly visible from the inside of the helmet. Yeah. I think that guy would definitely have felt the blow, but I believe he would also have been able to keep on fighting. So the helmet has protected him fairly well, but not great. Alright, now we're testing the motorbike helmet. It took some damage. What happened is that the visor and also the chin protector here flew off, but that is actually not a permanent damage because these things can simply be clipped on again. Very simple. But there is a little bit of a scratch up here. So you can clearly see that the material has suffered, but it's actually perfectly protected. Let's get the helmet off. Yeah, and of course you can see no damage on the wood block here. So this would have protected the Viking perfectly well. Alright, next we're gonna try an arrow, and of course we're using a field tip, much like it was used in Viking era. And also we're shooting with the mighty Bobcat, which is probably stronger than any Viking age bow. But we'll see how both helmets perform. And by the way, the Bobcat is still on spring sale. Okay, and whoa, I saw some sparks. Well, as you can see, the arrow is completely deformed. I mean, look at the tip. And it also rammed the entire inlay into the carbon fiber. So this is one garbage arrow. That happened. Otherwise, the helmet is fully intact. Again, we're shooting at the motorbike helmet with Germany's most dangerous toy. And it's in spring sale right now at Gogun.de. For just over 2,000 euros complete with 50 arrows and an archery mat and everything. Whoa! Yeah, it's not looking good for that Viking. Definitely a kill. And I think it completely nailed the helmet on. Let's see if we can get this. Cannot get it out intact. Oh, let's see. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah, so I believe that would have been the end for this. Whoa. Yeah, it's completely firmly. I think I have to use pliers to get it out. Yeah. So this round clearly goes to the steel helmet. So the next thing on our list is the Cold Steel Viking Axe. And I've made a new handle. Maybe you remember that I broke the first one when I tried to throw it. And actually, should this thing survive, then I will send it to Adam Saladin, who promised to show us all that he can throw a thing like this. And I made an extra solid handle for it from plywood. Stabilized from both sides with screws and also properly attached to the Viking blade here. This, of course, is a blade that is not made to chop wood. It is made to split skulls. There goes monetization, I guess. So now, the Viking axe against the Viking helmet. Yeah! Whoa! This is a major blow. I mean, you can see the dent and the deep scratch in the helmet. And again, on the cold steel blade, there's actually no damage, because this is hardened steel and this is not. That Viking would have survived, but he would probably be unconscious. Okay. And... yeah! Whoa, not bad! So again, the parts that flew off were just clipped on, and this actually exceeded my expectations, because look what happened. There's definitely a cut in the polycarbonate, but no danger for the bearer of this helmet. I clearly believe that this round goes to the integral helmet. The next weapon that we're going to test is the Cold Steel Sword, Viking Sword. Very sharp and proven to be very effective against the polycarbonate shield. It's actually my favorite blade because it's so sharp and lightweight. Alright, now we're gonna test the Cold Steel Viking Sword against the Viking helmet. And bing! Oh, I can feel it in my fingers. This is not sponsored by Cold Steel, but I still have to say I'm impressed by the quality of this blade, because there is nothing, no nick, no nothing on the sword, even though I cut a deep groove here into this helmet. This helmet was designed to actually be effective against swords, because it is actually not really possible for me to hit the helmet in any way that is not protected by this ridge here, and I think there is zero chance that a blade can ever hack through this whole thing here. So a heavy helmet that does a proper job. Okay, and same thing, just like the axe. Now we'll use the spike of the zombie hammer against the steel helmet. Okay, and whoa! It actually pierced the helmet. Wow! Alright, while it is really impressive what happened, actually the zombie hammer suffered a bit, but nothing that I cannot repair. You can see that it pierced the steel helmet, but definitely not deep enough to be any serious danger for the Viking. So you can see that the hole isn't big enough to let the entire spike hit the head. And go! All right. That was effective. Yeah. Oh. Definitely a case for the skull ejector. Of course, that impact would have been absolutely lethal. Let's take it off. Well, you know, I don't really see any mark. Ah, there is one here. Okay, it entered here. So yes, that was a lethal blow. It's clear. I mean, these helmets are not made for impacts like this. They're made to absorb blunt impacts, but not really sharp pieces. So, as a Viking, what would I choose? This one or this one? Well, of course this one. Absolutely. This is a Viking era helmet for Viking era weapons. And this helmet, even though it looks somehow aggressive and very cool, is definitely designed for a completely different purpose. So this is the one that you have to wear when you want to go into war. So, and please don't forget to download the game and play it a bit. Maybe we can even meet in one of the in-game battles. And also you would definitely help my channel a lot so that I can keep on doing cool things like this and not go back to an office job. Anyway, I hope you like this, because I really like this episode. That's it for today. Thanks and bye-bye.